It's Jennifer with Underway Drifting and Dreaming. We are leaving Ludington after a week of being held hostage by the weather. We did have a lot of fun while we were there. But as a boater, you know, when you're constantly moving after 2 or 3 days, you kind of get that little itch to get back on the water. Sunday it was 4 to 7 feet out here. Yesterday they had 7-foot waves down by Muskegon. I'm up here, I'm just hand steering. Usually I'm on auto heading. Gratitude's in front of us. And we are heading south, chasing the 80-degree weather. Welcome back. If you're new, Jim and I are 2 retirees living aboard our 48-foot Katie Krogan whaleback. We are living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel our 6,000-mile plus trip on the America's Great Loop, traveling through the U.S. and Canadian waters. As we're traveling into Muskegon, Michigan, we have something called upwelling. We left early in the morning from Ludington to a very calm lake after days of persistent northeast winds of 20 knot plus gusts. It was blowing over the southern end of Lake Michigan, and this wind causes the upwelling. Upwelling is a process where the winds are pushing the surface water away from the shore, allowing cold lake water to rise up to the surface from beneath. The water went from 76 to 51 to 46 degrees, and this is where the fog came from. Blue Tortuga is just in front of us, and there's a sailboat bobbing around out there also. I'm in the science teacher mode there. I'm on the bow with my headset. I see the water change, the river water. I see that before I saw the lighthouse. And Blue Tortuga is still in front of us in a sailboat. And it gets a little bit brighter. And we continue to move along. And now we can see the jetty. And then immediately we break right through the fog and it looks perfect. So this is the Coast Guard station, and I see their station dog running around over there. We're going to continue and head into Harbour Towne Marina. We are staying at a friend's slip. They offered it up for us, and we are going to head just around the corner. We do not go into the town of Muskegon. We're going to stay right here on the waterfront for 2 days. On each side of the inlet, there is a river walk, so you can be over at the Muskegon State Park and walk alongside, or you can start here at the Silverside Museum, and you can walk all the way up to the Coast Guard station. You do have to walk around that, and then you can head to the beach to get to the Muskegon South Pier Lighthouse. We docked at the Harbour Towne Marina, and after having dinner and docktails with other boaters, Jim and I headed towards the river walk, and here's the Coast Guard cutter McLean. It's a 120-foot Coast Guard vessel. She was built for Prohibition and did service in World War II. You see her honors and awards on the side, and look at her big guns. At the USS Silverside Museum, you can go on a tour of the Coast Guard boat and the submarine. I apologize, there's a train going by. But the submarine fought in World War II and had confirmed sinkings of 23 vessels. Part of the museum is World War II history. They have a lot of dive history, submarine history, and it is so cool that you can go on both of these vessels. So as we're walking around, heading down towards the Coast Guard station, we saw a little library. Along the loop, there's these little libraries that have, you leave a boat sorry, you don't leave a boat. You leave a book, you take a book. And this one that's at the Silverside Museum, it was made by a Boy Scout working on his Eagle Scout project. It's the greatest thing. Take a book, leave a book. And it is shaped just like the USS Silverside. After a day of doing boat maintenance, Jim was working on the installation of the Starlink. We walked down to watch the sunset at the beach and walked out to the lighthouse. So many different views here as we're walking along, enjoying the evening. And this walk is, when we walk in the evening, it's a mosey walk. When I'm out in the morning, I'm either run, walk, or speed walking. In the morning that we left, I came out to the beach right outside of the marina and watched the sunrise, which it was hard to see. There's a lot of haze in the air from, I guess, the fires up in Canada. But I finally did see that sun poke through. Our boat's beam is 17.5 and the slip is 18 feet. So we have our fenders out. So before we leave, we'll pull those fenders up and out of the way so Jim can back right out. So I set up the camera on the bow. Didn't know that Jim was going to be checking it out. But what I do is I take off the lines, I walk up to the bow, hand the bow line over, and once he gets that on board, he pulls it up. I walk to the stern, I'm taking off the stern line, stepping on. So as soon as he turns around, he is ready to back out of the slip. So enjoy us heading out into the inlet. Thank you for joining us as we adventured into Muskegon, Michigan and did a little boat maintenance and walked to the beach. We are back underway and heading to Grand Haven. The weather looks fabulous for the next week. We're going into the weekend. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. We'll be making more.